ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about Bleach. And honestly, it feels like if you put previous episode and these two episodes that we had today, you can have your own Bleach movie. It was amazing, honestly. The build up, the emotional, the payoff after so many years, both in an emotional way and in a hype way, interconnecting together. It felt amazing, especially the way it ended. We finally found out the history, everything related with Ichigo, Yawach, his mother. Just, I love Bleach, what can I say? And we also got the trailer for part 2 coming. That we're gonna talk about it towards the end, but yeah, these three final episodes with the two we got today have been just amazing. So let's get into it and talk about it. Now it picks up from last week. We have Ishin doing the report back, and I really liked how he handled that, especially in the face of Yamamoto. He hid some stuff there being saved by a Quincy, to say the least. I'm really curious how Yamamoto would have reacted if we found out the full truth. But Ishin was awesome, what he did in the past, and we're gonna get to that. We have both the Masaki thinking of Ishin, Ishin thinking about her. So yes, they were made for each other. Literally, it was like destiny, them meeting together and everything that happened. But slowly we see that Masaki was affected by the Hollow, and even Kisuke got involved there. Izumi and Ryuken, the Ishida family, were going also through their own problems, especially after what happened with Masaki. Izumi always chastising her. She found out everything from Katagiri, and Katagiri is Uryu's mother. I wasn't expecting that, honestly, there, the connection between her and Ryuken. But I'm also really curious the wound on Izumi. While she was being very worried on everything that was happening there, she had a wound. Now Ryuken also tried to cover for Masaki, but she collapses. She starts getting a hole, like a hollow hole in her chest. Ryuken, to say that he was confused would be an understatement. He tries his best there, and this is where we see the wound on Izumi, and Ryuken, full of guilt, blaming himself for not stopping her. But I don't think he could have stopped Masaki. She has a will of her own, to say the least. And on the way there, he tried to save her. They get attacked by a hollow. Thankfully, they got saved by Ishin, but they were still in danger. Thankfully, Kisuke shows up and saying there is a way to save her. Now, they did an amazing job also showing the inner world of Masaki and her getting more and more lost towards the hollow inside her. And saving her won't be that easy. And this is where the sacrifices that were made for her and everything that happened just makes me love the series more and more with each reveal that we got here. Now, Masaki can't go back to normal like she used to be because of the holification, but they can save her life to balance her soul. Being Quincy and human, they need something the opposite of that to counteract the hollow that is always present there. So they have Ishin with a Gigai to be a hybrid human. Nigami bind their souls together for as long as Masaki lives and her descendants, also referring to Ichigo, but he would lose his Shinigami power. So this is why he lost his power, not the final Mugetsu, Getsuga, how he said back then, the sacrifice he made there. But what I really liked was he accepted instantly, no hesitation, no questioning, no doubts. He instantly did it, much to the shock of Ryuken, who didn't expect that from Ishin, let alone a Shinigami. We finally have him saving her even in her inner world, their souls being binded together, and the way, the way she recovered, having a bit of a daydream, still thinking of him blushing and dreaming there, feeling very cute. Masaki is an awesome character, and feel the pain that Ichigo lost her. And also you have Ryuken, full of guilt and him kind of connecting a bit there when they left Kiski after they saved Masaki with Katagiri, and how much Katagiri cares about Ryuken. I think this is how they bonded together and how Uryu happened. Now, after that, we see a bit of the life after the incident with Masaki and Ishida, and how Ishin started his cleaning. She went to school there, how he lied to her about his powers. She probably knew how he lost his powers, but it was something between them. They shared that, and you see him seeing her as the son for him. He's everything to him, and then you were born, talking to Ichigo. That was such an amazing moment to see all the history, the backstory, the emotions, the sacrifices, the build up, the payoff we had after so many years. And this is how Ichigo came to be. Such an amazing moment to have it reveal in its full glory over here. But slowly after that, we see Ishin saying his power was no longer enough to suppress the hollow inside, especially in Ichigo, and also the real reason why Masaki died that day, because he should have been able to defeat Grand Fisher quite easily, but because she was an ex-Quincy and she was also very strong, happened the event Auschwallen, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, was the Quincy selection. Basically, when Yawach was regaining his powers, he stole or took back the powers from some Quincy he didn't deem worthy, and Masaki was one of them, and that's why she lost her powers at that exact moment, and he died. Yawach being the father of the Quincy, so he's responsible for Ichigo losing his mother and Ishin losing the love of his life. So there's more than enough reason to have this confrontation war that's going to happen here. And we even have Ikumi. I'm so glad they showed that, Ikumi returning his badge and Ichigo thanking his father for everything and saying, I'm going, finding this new motivation. And that was the first episode. We got episode 12. This was the emotional episode, to say the least. And even the comedy was on point right after that. A perfect question by Ishin: how do you intend to get back to the Soul Palace? And yeah, that was a very good question. Just like Ichigo, but thankfully Mera is there, and she shows up bringing him back, and Ohetsu puts him in the hall with the Asauchi, and that was such an awesome moment to see all of the Asauchi kneeling, making way for him to find the one that was perfect for him, and saying, Ichigo telling him, you are the one, and that one transforms a bit into a hollow, his Asauchi being this hollow, and Ohetsu saying he will reforge it. That was amazing having that moment, and even more the payoff towards the end of the episode, and we see everybody doing very similar things. I feel like a lot of series have done training arcs this week or past week, but in here you see also Hitsugaya going to train from the beginning, blaming himself for losing his Bankai, but also wanting to do more and more despite losing it, and not expecting to get it back. We have also Kensei with Shuhei to master his Bankai with Mashiro, even though he wasn't really prepared for all of the what meant there. Akon is back, and we see Mayuri is doing his mad scientist experiments on his Bankai, or what Alien versus Predator thing he's trying to together, and can't wait to see what he comes up with. Soifon also training, and this also was very interesting. We have Komamura going to talk to the Great Elder of his clan, which I honestly didn't know about. I'm really curious how powerful it is, what is this secret technique that he wants to learn, and also the conversation between them was very interesting with how the Elder views the world. He sees himself as an outsider. He doesn't really care who rules the world, who changes it. They will persevere. It doesn't matter what happens around them, and Komamura wanting the change and wanting to do something about, so they're probably gonna have a duel. I'm really curious the conversation also after the duel. I feel like they're gonna come to an understanding, and even with him, how they parted ways with Komamura hiding himself from the world. You see how perspective changed, him being more open right now. Will he be able to reach the Great Elder? I don't know, probably, but we're gonna have to see how. Now, this was the start of the most epic moment we have had here, with Ohetsu taking Ichigo to the forge and telling him to say goodbye to Zangetsu. And the way he started his forge with all of the girls, the Asauchi punching, stepping on him, and even calling for Ichigo's Asauchi to do the same. That entire scene with the start of the forge, one of the girls ripped her tooth to form the hammer, and he started working, was such a Bleach way to have a forge. And the conversation between with why the Asauchi is white, reminding him of his hollow. It's actually his hollow turning into the Zanpakuto, and even the way they were created is very similar with how Zanpakutos are created, multiple layered souls. That's how Aizen created White, that hollow with multiple Shinigami souls layered upon each other, and even kept going with how Zangetsu was the Quincy powers in the form of Yawach, how he was 1,000 years ago. So that was a very big reveal, finding out that the old man was a rock for Ichigo, was in fact Yawach, and even telling him, I'm not Zangetsu, I'm the source of your Quincy power, so I'm both Yawach and I'm not Yawach at the same time, both an enemy, both an ally. And conversation with him, I never lied except for the name. And remember, who helped you every time you were in danger? It was always the hollow. Even when I was teaching you how to use your powers, it was always the hollow. Even suppressing his power to protect him. He was only able to use a margin of his power. Just consider how strong Ichigo is gonna become after this, and even consider at one point to kill him if he follows through with becoming a Shinigami. But slowly and eventually started supporting him, and even willing to step away, very satisfied. It felt like a father passing the torch to his son. Such an awesome moment from Zangetsu, Yawach, however you call that inner personification there. Was an amazing moment telling him this was merely a fragment of your power, you can now use it fully. And your true Zanpakuto, and Ichigo accepting himself and his Quincy side and his hollow side, I think both are Zangetsu. He actually grabs the burning sword from the sword, just the water evaporates there, the sea, the ocean, whatever you wanna call it, and he has two Zanpakutos now, and I'll fight on my own. Thank you, Zangetsu. You are me. So he finally accepted himself and everything about him. I got teared up, honestly, at that moment. Just consider, after so many years, so much build up, so much mystery surrounding everything, just the history of the series, we finally have it here in this amazing moment, and I can't wait for more. There's also the end credit scene with Yawach and Hashwalt, with Hashwalt bringing Uryu there. So they're gonna fight together. What is Uryu trying to do? I don't think he's actually gonna switch sides, but very interesting why he is there, and I'm really excited to see Ichigo and Uryu face to face again. But this has been such an amazing treat to finally have Bleach back. They've done an amazing job with the adaptation. This was the final episode, at least for now. We have the trailer for part 2 being out, looking amazing. I can't wait for it. 2023. Just give me more Bleach. Bleach is one of my favorite series, very close both emotionally and everything about it. It has its issues, granted, but it's such an awesome series, and the legacy it has with everything Bleach. I love Bleach. This is all I can say, and I just want more. So I'm really curious what you guys think about the series overall, and especially about this 1000-year Blood War arc we got here, the adaptation, everything. Let me know down in the comments below, and I wish you a happy new year, happy holidays, and remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Bleach. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.